Welcome back to Breakfast at Fiji One. Thank you for joining us this Wednesday morning, 7th of April, 2021. Trust your day is going great. It's the middle of the week.
Yeah.
Good thing it's a short week this week, eh?
It is. It is. I'm looking forward to it. It's like out of the weekend, long weekend into the short weekend.
Right.
But yeah, I trust that you're doing well this morning. For those of you that are taking to our roads right now, please drive safe and remember to have those seat belts latched on. And also to our traveling school kids who are heading off to school. Have a great day at school.
All right, well, let's welcome our guest to Breakfast at Fiji One this morning. We've got the Chief Executive Officer for Investment Fiji, Greg Strong, and also the Export Representative of New Caledonia's Trade and Investment, Mr. Rhenaud Hette. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Interesting that you've come in this morning simply to talk to us about the virtual trade program. Now, I was asking Mavis, okay, what is this virtual trade program? So for the benefit, just for our viewers this morning, care to just talk through to us through what the virtual trade program is and how it works?
Well, maybe I'll kick off. So in our, I guess, our strive to make sure that our exporters are engaging in our markets, we've found with COVID, obviously with border closures, our exporters are keen to make sure they are engaging. They're keen to making sure that they continue those relationships and explore new business opportunities. So we felt that a virtual trade expo is probably the best way to make sure that Fijian exporters can connect with international markets, and in particular with this really exciting initiative we have commencing today, is with a very close trading partner of New Caledonia. And so essentially you go to a website, we have both New Caledonian products and service offer as well as Fijian products, and it's basically a virtual marketplace, so connections can be made, relationships can be established, and I know that my colleague will elaborate more on this, but we've found since October last year, and Investment Fiji kicked off with this initiative called the Fiji at 50 Trade Expo around our 50th anniversary of independence. And since then, we've been trying to be quite country specific. So in March we ran one with New Zealand. This month we have with New Caledonia. Then we're doing with Australia and Japan and some of our key trading partners. Obviously with border closures, our traders are really trying to get into those markets, and it's the best avenue that we have to make sure that they can continue those relationships. Our relationship with New Caledonia, if you go to New Caledonia, you'll see Fijian products on shelves there. A delegation from New Caledonia came to Fiji pre-COVID and was supposed to come last year. So it's just perfect timing for us to re-engage those relationships.
And Mr. Strong, it is vital, especially for growing our economies and, from all the Pacific Island countries. Mr. Hette, on this move for virtual export trade, tell us how the idea helps New Caledonia in the same way that it does Fiji.
So as Craig said, it's the same in New Caledonia, and we cannot afford for borders to open to develop trade. And so as Investment Fiji has these ideas of doing virtual expo, we were thinking we could do one with New Caledonia, which was focused not only on Fiji, but on Fiji and New Caledonia companies. So we'll have both products and services from each country. So it's really helpful for New Caledonia as we used to be COVID-free as well, and we need to develop these trade relations. So this expo will exhibit 40 companies and 100 of products and services for each country. And we hope in this way we will be able to create more movement between Fiji and New Caledonia, yes.
Awesome. Well, this is the trade expo, the virtual trade expo happens. It launches this afternoon.
That's correct. Yes.
Tell us how it works, Mr. Strong. Any of you gentlemen.
No worries. So basically, so it's an online platform. So visitors can go through. You will have two sections: one buy from Fiji, one buy from New Caledonia, which will be divided into subcategories: 6 for Fiji and 5 for New Caledonia. These categories will be food and beverages, industrial goods, health and cosmetics, fashion and apparel, services, as well like primary industry. So we try to cover every aspect of the economy, and in order to touch as many buyers and distributors as possible. So the whole point of this platform is to is for these companies to reach to distributors and buyers in New Caledonia, and the other way around for New Caledonian companies.
And Mr. Strong, seeing that Investment Fiji created the platform for the website, your explanation on that?
Yeah, look, I think what just sharing with Rhenaud outside is that we have to try. Yeah, just because the borders are closed doesn't mean that we can't trade. So when we looked at this concept last year for the Fiji at 50, after the first 2 weeks, we reflected on some of the statistics of the traders that were going through the website. We saw there was some 16 to 17,000 page views. So that gives you an idea of the quality of the time that visitors are really spending in that virtual platform. And we got some quite good stats in terms of results of trade deals. There was upwards of 60 trade deals out of that. So, banking on that as a really good platform and the strength that we have with our relationship with New Caledonia, the strength of some of their brands, and obviously the strength of our brands, having a platform like this, it's just a perfect opportunity to re-engage. And I think we've got to keep these activities alive because as soon as the borders are open, I know that traders and investors in New Caledonia and here in Fiji, we're ready to go into market and to re-engage. But whilst we can't do that, this, we believe, is the best platform for us.
So seeing that you launched this afternoon, the virtual trade program, what's your outlook on it and response from those that will be trading?
We'll probably both comment. I'm just excited about the launch. The team at the New Caledonia Trade Commission, they've done wonderful work bringing this launch together. It's being hosted at the French Embassy. There's a virtual speech by the New Caledonia Minister in charge of Trade and Commerce, and we'll have our own Minister, the Honourable Faiz Koya, present. So that in itself is exciting, and it shows the importance that both countries place on an event like this. It's not just simply the launch of a website. This is a launch of trading activity, which is quite exciting, and maybe Rhenaud, you want to add to that?
So we wish that it's only the beginning, but this platform will bring more between the two countries, especially as we share many assets, the two countries, but also we are very complementary. So that makes the two countries ideal partners, and we wish to sustain this relation, especially as Craig said, delegations were supposed to come from Fiji to New Caledonia. So that's the way we thought we could develop this relation for now and to prepare for the future when borders open. Yeah.
Awesome.
Craig, maybe you could tell us some of the areas of focus that Investment Fiji is directing its effort towards in terms of building or achieving the maximum benefits for the nation as a whole, or for both nations.
Yeah, thank you. And, it's, as I said, we're in a time of basically border closure. So moving from recovery into sustainability, we're punching our efforts, into virtual platforms like this. So we've got country-specific virtual trade expos for the next 5 to 6 months. We've also got sector-specific investment seminars. We've done one on manufacturing, we've done one on agriculture, we've done one on pharmaceutical, one on medical. So we're being very specific on those sectors that we're looking to grow in the economy. Another exciting initiative that we've got coming up is an investment symposium, where we've got a list of some 50-odd projects that are ready to go, that are looking for capital, whether it's financial capital or technical capital globally, inviting them into a virtual space to discuss and hopefully connect and do a deal. So that's how we're keeping ourselves on the map, as our colleague from New Caledonia in our key markets of Australia, New Zealand, USA, Japan, China. We've got to maintain our presence, particularly with some of our commodities that we are, our agricultural commodities, and we can only do that if we're active. And so, we're pretty excited. The teams are very focused on making sure that we execute these initiatives with excellence. We've taken quite a pragmatic approach to our country-based planning, understanding exactly what commodities are going into those markets, understanding what distributors' volumes they're picking up, and making sure that we're hitting those numbers. So we're focused. It's about, for us, it's getting back to the basics so that we can drive the organisation and assist with the economy from recovery to sustainability.
Well, gentlemen, this can be a question for the both of you. Maybe I'll start off with Mr. Ed. You've done a lot in terms of trade. You are moving into what we call the virtual trade program that's going now, and there's a lot more in the future. What are some of the plans in the pipeline that you could actually let us know of about now?
So the next thing would be hopefully to have a delegation coming, as I said, from Fiji to New Caledonia. This would depend on the discussion of opening the borders between Fiji and New Caledonia. Some discussion has been going on for a bubble, but this is out of range for now. So hopefully more events like that, maybe some webinars on some investment opportunities both in Fiji and New Caledonia. Let's focus on the specialities of each country. For now, we will keep it virtual and until we can do it physically. Yes.
Awesome. Mr. Strong?
Yeah, for us, it's making sure that over the next 6 months we finish strongly in our financial year. And we're also in the process with the investment reforms of a process of transformation into purely a trade investment promotion agency. So we shed some of our regulatory chains. So it's an exciting time for us and as an organisation. Last Monday we gathered a cross-section of industry to help us and develop our strategic plan. So we had representatives from pretty much everyone that makes up the ecosystem of our economy. And really the focus for us is looking at which sectors of the economy that we need to look at growing from a trade and investment perspective, developing what our key performance indicators are, then how we should get there. So that's a big piece of work in itself. Having said that, that's kind of the strategic, but we've also got this operational activity that we've got because we're really wanting to make sure that we hit our export numbers. We continue to drive not only the foreign domestic investment numbers, but also the domestic investment numbers, because we sincerely believe that as we move from recovery to sustainability, it's engaging our domestic investors and partnering them with the capital that they may need from offshore.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. And first of all, I would like to say congratulations. This is a wonderful opportunity for Fiji and New Caledonia, and we'll see a lot more of this in the future. Thank you so much, Mrs. Strong and Mr. Hette, for coming in this morning and enlightening us. And of course, we trust that your launch this afternoon, of course, we could probably invite you back on the show to tell us how it's, the feedback and, of course, the way it's going. Yeah. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Well, there you go. Hearing, of course, from the Chief Executive Officer for Investment Fiji, Mr. Craig Strong, and the Export Representative of New Caledonia Trade and Investment, Mr. Rhenaud Hette. The launch is this afternoon. We'll hear more about that, of course, on Breakfast. Stay with us. We've got more coming up after the break.